Hey guys, welcome back. White Filth channel. Glad you all could make it. Thanks to everybody who subscribed in the last weeks. I reached the 400 mark, so looks like I'm a small black metal label status. Not yet Century Media, but maybe we'll get here, who knows. On the turntable, so yeah, thank you. On the turntable is Spectral Voice. The last new Spectral Voice album. It's called all these weird eroded corridors of unbeing. Really good cosmic inwards death metal or whatever. There is nothing in the bag. I went to the Amenra Mass VI release show yesterday, but all the limiteds were gone due to unfortunate circumstances. I could not make it and there were none left. So I put some feelers out, maybe it will come, maybe it won't, and that will be the end of my Amenra collecting streak, I think. That's all the sob story bad news. Now on to the update. Not that much, I think 6 records maybe. Let's start off with the first thing. There's a tape delay coming, so no tapes in this one either. First thing is Lil Sect with Proselytes 7-inch. The 7-inch I was talking about that Count Blackred, I think his name is, or is his name, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it all right. He was talking about the Lil Sect 7-inch that was coming out and I couldn't find it, or that was out, but it was in the works apparently, and this is the new Lil Sect EP, like I said, Proselytes. I'm not sure what that means. Cool cover in the back. It's in the same vein as the full length I showed 2 videos ago, maybe. It's the same artwork. It's maybe a companion piece rather than a new EP, because the sound is also the same. It's a little bit more post-punk. No, that's not true. I was going to say it's a little bit more post-punk, a little bit less ghost-ish, because I keep saying ghost, but it's not ghost. But the vocal patterns remind me of the way Papa sings in Ghost. Anyway, this is the gold version, again with the rope inner labels. I think it was limited to 500 in total, and the gold 100? Not sure. I think 100, knowing RN Bonehead. Sound-wise, it's more of the same. It's like 2 tracks that weren't on the album that are now on a 7-inch. So yeah, get it if you're into. I think they still have it. It must be still up. Then I'm not sure if I've showed this one or not. But this I picked this up at my local record store because the diehards were already sold out from Rise Above. This is Uncle Acid and Deadbeats with Volume 1. Their first full length. It's considered their first full length. Yeah, first release on Friday the 13th February in 2010. 40 years to the day after Black Sabbath's debut LP. So there was some thinking going into this one. This one was actually never on vinyl. It was released on a well, it's not completely true. It was released on a CDR, like on 30 CDR copies, and provided blah blah. Yeah, it was distributed through a small platform, it says here, but through friends and family, to fund the recordings for 2011's Bloodlust, their first full length, I should say. Everybody by now knows Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, or Uncle Acid, if you will. It is a 70s worship, fuzzy, garagey rock band with occult overtones that has a knack for serial killers and bad 70s porn and biker shit movies. So yeah, no needs to get into that. It comes with a booklet that has some lyrics and the pictures that accompanied the CDR. And it's a good record. It took a while to be released on vinyl. There was an unofficial release that was a picture disc of this thing, but I never saw that in real life. So. Red vinyl, There's a couple of die-hard packages. There is a red, there is a white, and there is a purple with glitter in it, I think, or sparkles, or whatever they call it. They're English, you know. I mean, rise above us. So yeah, Uncle Acid, cool to have it finally on vinyl. Not their best, but cool collection of songs. 13 Spiders on here, or oh, Crystal Spiders, yeah, that's the first track. Vampire Circus, I don't know, so yeah, a bunch of cool tracks on here. Uncle. Then, 2 gift records. The first one I got from Desiree from Les Bear. She asked for my address and she said she had to send me something, and that was the Hella Dead May Die record. I saw it on Instagram and it spoke to me, the design and stuff like that, and the color arrangements on this vinyl. This is a release done by her, her label Les Bear Records or Recordings, limited to 250, and she got me 18. Really nice package on this one. I also love the back with the hands coming up out of the water. It comes with a insert, which is also very nice. And what this is, or what the music is it is a female-fronted doom band, I should say, more in the vein of Windhand maybe, but more like, what's their name? Royal Thunder. That is the band closest to them. The star on this thing is the female vocalist. I love her vocals, and it is not really my preferred genre of music anymore, but I have to say this has been on quite some heavy rotation because, you know, upstairs we have a baby, there is a wife that doesn't necessarily like to hear dead screams all the time. So yeah, this is a nice nice break for everybody, I should say, from the black metal that is blasting constantly. Really nice pressing. This is a white, very heavy pressing, I should say, 180 at least, with some red dusting through it. It's not quite splatter or not quite streaky. It's more of a blood dust, and there are blue or black spots on this one. It also came with a handwritten letter that she wrote me. It's not important what's in here, that's private. But yeah, Desiree, thank you very much. And like I said, this has been on quite a heavy rotation because I was really into Royal Thunder by the time they released that CVI or something. It's an abbreviation, but I'm not sure what it stands for. But I kind of fell out of touch with that band, like I said, because it's not really my forte anymore. But yeah, it was great to get reacquainted with that one. So Hella That May Die, I will provide links for pickups if necessary. The second gift was Lentil, the 4th full-length album, and I have to see what it's called. Does it have a name? Yeah, why don't you hide the name on me? Well, let's start with this. This is the download card for it. I hope that stays still long enough. If you want it, take it. I didn't use it. So yeah, like I said, this is the 4th full length by these guys. And this is the limited edition version. Thanks Nela and Mike for giving it to me. The Consouling honeys were here last week, and they dropped off some records for me, and they gave me this as a present, which is always very, very appreciated. Free records are the best records. This is the Septième edition, which comes with a extra slipcase with some screen printed extra artwork. This is number 6 out of 150, and I think this is still available. I'm not 100% sure. It says here, a mesmerizing, apocalyptical, and mystical journey. Now, what Lentil is a band that does not shy away from the genre bending or genre mixing. So there's a lot going on this record, but like I said, for the life of me, I can't see what the title of this record is. It's Consouling, so it's a nice pressing. I would say 140 rather than 180, but it's Very nicely done. So yeah, thanks for the record. I hope that someone who nags or snags the download code is going to enjoy it. Like I said, a lot of genres or a lot of mixed styles going on this record. Really cool extra addition to the artwork. Nicely done, Setien. Then, 4 more. Some black metal, of course. Let's start off with the... this came in. Fallen Empire, finally. There were some delays in shipping. There are some delays in pressing. I saw the Void Spear and the Blattaria or something like that were delayed, but it seems all the pressing plans are backed up or have a backlog because none of the vinyl is coming in. I know we have problems with hypertension. I know Consouling has problems. I know Neurold has problems, and apparently it's because Universal is hugging up or clogging up, I should say, not hugging, clogging up all the presses everywhere for that shitfest record store day that's coming up. So yeah, pressing plants know who's kept you alive all these years. The indies, not some picture disc raping conglomerates of a major. Anyway, there's the rant for this video or for this week. The first one I got was the my rant threw me off. Cunt. Problem with this record is this knife ritual. Sorry, very sorry. Knife ritual. Hate incantation. The problem with this, no, it's ritual knife. That's right. Problem with this release, I was going to say, is that there's not much info on here. This is a very nicely printed sleeve. It's on this shiny, beautiful white paper, but it's the altar skill kind of fold over sleeve. Nicely screen printed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. It says here ritual knife, and then hates, I think, invocation. So that's the title and event. It was not on Discog, so it took me a while to decipher it all. Nice printed inner sheet with the band members and then some poetry on the back. This is straight up hateful, not raw, but just a buzzsaw that just keeps on grinding. This is a very abrasive listening experience. Black vinyl, they're all on black. I'm not sure about the limitation because Fallen Empire and limitations, you know. But the pressing is really cool. It's really thick grooves on a record. I don't know if that shows up, but it's really cool pressing. The detail, nerd detail. So yeah, this is some very abrasive, hateful stuff, and there's not much variation in this record. The vocals remain the same mostly the same during the entire record, but it is a killer album. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it pops up in the top 10 end of the year, but it needs a few more listens because the first few are quite daunting, to say the least. Cheers. Something healthy for a change. 3 more. The next one, also from the Fallen Empire release, or the Fallen Empire order. This is Utzalu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Utzalu. Yeah, pretty sure. The Loins of Repentance. This is a co-release. Actually, it's a release on Brasu Batlat, but Fallen Empire is doing the distribution for North America. This is the second full length, I think. They have a split with second or the third, I'm not sure. But yeah, cover and back cover on the Brasu Batlat label. Really cool label. All killer releases. It started as a tape label, but they're slowly getting into vinyl with the Triumph or Foul, and now this one. And I think there was one more, Ushkungalu, or however you call it. Yeah, so they're starting to do vinyl too. And of course, I have to get on that, for the thickness is still strong. Printed inner, really nice design, really nice quality on this one. this is the white version. There's a white and a black. Once again, limitations, I'm not sure. Maybe 5 white, 5 black. Not sure. What this is a in stark contrast to the previous record. This one is very varied. It starts with some noisy intro, some scratchy hard noise. Then it goes over into some mid-bass hardcore stomp. It then transitions into black metal-ish kind of, but it always had that. It always has that core of, yeah, I would say some chuggy mid-bass hardcore stomper. Yeah, it's the best way to describe it. There are so many layers in this record, and this one is definitely going to show up on the end of the year list. What also came with it is the Rasul Batlat and Unseen Force presents Torment is Flash in Portland in January 2018, and this is something I would definitely like to go to. So to put this in here is just another tear in the lake of tears, because there's no way I'm going to Portland in January. But anyway, Utzalu. I can't wait to see what's up. In the next tape later will be some tapes by Rasul Batlat, and they're expanding on sound. There's noise tapes, there's black metal, there's hardcore. So yeah, once again, a label really to look into. I'll hold that still so you can see what it's written like. Rasul Batlat, but links everywhere, you know. 2 left. The first one is a record that was only on CD for a while, like a lot of releases by this artist or this bunch of artists. This is Vampiric Blood with Ordo Dracul. Mystical Vampiric Witchcraft, and this is on Dark Adversary. Yeah, and this was distributed, or not released, distributed by Merchant of Death. So it popped up. I was looking for it because Dark Adversary posted on Facebook that it was going to pop up. This is limited to 250 copies. And yeah, this is quite an older record. This is from 2012, or recorded in 2012. I don't know when the CD came out. Someone will definitely correct me. But yeah, front cover. Love the logo. This is the back. I think this guy lives here. I think. There is a nice printed inner, and this is some straight up vampiric black metal, but done in a really cool way. And it's from the same guy that does Drowning in the Lights and tons of other stuff. The sound is quite good. It's not quite good production, but it has that Room Next Door kind of feel, so that self-recorded, self-produced, yeah, feel to it. But still crispy enough to make it worth repeated listens. On Red, like I said, 250 copies. Really enjoyed this record for some time now. It has sold out on Merchant of Death. It says here, there's a sticker, distributed by Hell's Headbangers, so maybe it will show up in North America, or it already has, I'm not sure. But yeah, Vampiric Blood, really cool. There's another full length from them coming out on vinyl, and then there's the split with Drowning in the Light, I think. That's also coming out on vinyl very soon, if I'm not mistaken. Then, last but not least, like last video, I promised myself not to get into Peste Noire. I also promised myself not to get too much involved with soundtracks. But then a new record store, you know, when I promise myself, it never works out. There's a new record store in my town. It's called Just for the Record. Their main focus is on secondhand vinyl, punk, disco, soul, whatever you want, and they have a bunch of soundtracks, of course. So I went through the bins. It's mostly Discogs priced, or a little higher, so I'm not going to be a regular there, but there are some gems in those bins, and one of those gems was a soundtrack. So I did some searching on internet, Discogs, whatever, and I saw that this was kind of fairly priced. I got it down a little bit, so it was worth getting. This is the Nekromantic soundtrack on One Way Static Records, and this is already gone, gone, gone. There are a few versions of this record, but this specifically, or this record's version is gone. Nekromantic is a German, let me get out everything, is a German movie by Jörg Bittgereit. Not sure if that's what the guy's name is, but that's how I chose to pronounce it. And this is a cult classic gore exploitation horror movie, I would say, but it's mainly gore and gore. I looked at the cover and I just, you know, look at the cover. The back, Nekromantic, what it's about is about, let's say, people who enjoyed the erotic company of the not living. This is for sure flag material, so I'm not going to show it too much. But once again, that cover is what sold me on this fucking record. The cover got me into buying it. The music it's a soundtrack, of course, but it has that German. Is this done? Yeah. It has quite German feel to it, which is of course fitting because it's a German movie. It's so German jazz or free jazz-ish at some points. But yeah, I haven't delved too deep into it. This comes with a lot of extras. It has the info sheet with some more pictures that are showable. It comes with a 7-inch, an extra 7-inch with a few more extra tracks. Nekromantic bonus. Reminds me of the Nightoga Blitz record that I want. It comes with this postcard, which has the original poster of the film, and this is a flexi postcard. I don't know how to call it exactly, but there's an extra. The apple juice. There's an extra track on here too. I'm not sure if that plays true altogether because it's a little smudgy, but yeah. And then this is the sperm and blood splatter version of this record, but it's actually more. It's actually prettier than it sounds. It is a clear with blue, with black and red streaks. So yeah, cool soundtrack. The new promise to myself is that I only buy soundtracks if I really enjoy the music, not just to buy the soundtrack of the movie I like, because sometimes when you buy a soundtrack for the movie, it's a crap soundtrack, but like Only Lovers Left Alive, for example, that's a soundtrack that is in my collection and not going anywhere, so yeah. This one, I have to admit, I bought for the artwork and for the extras and for the movie maybe, yeah. So that's the last one for this update. A little less records, a little more rambling. Yeah, that's Nekromantic. You want to say hi? Yeah. Hi, I'm Mirko. I make music. It's for you, Axel. Just take it. That's it. Once again, I'll show you the download codes for the Consouling records. If you have a copy of the limited Amenra Mass VI release, hit me up. I need it. I want it. I'll buy it. Guys, thank you very much. Tape delay is coming up. There is a discography video coming up and some other stuff. Maybe I'll do the local record stores, but it dawned on me that I have to walk in there with a camera strapped to my face or something like that, so it will, I don't know if it will happen. Anyway,